Have you ever felt like giving up? Maybe you studied hard but still failed the test. Maybe you tried to play a sport but you were not good enough. Or maybe people laughed at you and told you you can't do it. It hurts, right? When people don't believe in you, when even you start to feel, maybe I'm not good enough. We all have moments like this. I had moments like this too. And maybe, right now, you are thinking about giving up on something. But wait, before you stop, I want to tell you a story. It is a simple story, but it has a big lesson. A lesson that can change your life. This story is about falling down and standing up again. It is about failing again and again, but still not quitting. It is about how one person who was weak became strong because he never gave up. So, if you ever felt lost, weak, or ready to quit, this story is for you. Listen carefully, because at the end, you will believe that you can also keep going. Part 1. Introduction. There was a boy named Sam. Sam was just like many of us. He was not the best student in his school. In fact, sometimes he felt like the worst. When teachers asked questions, Sam was often quiet. He didn't always know the answer. And when he tried to answer, many times he was wrong. Some students laughed. Some whispered, "Sam is not smart." Those words hurt him, but he pretended to smile. At home, Sam tried to study. He sat with his books. He read. He wrote. He repeated the lessons. But still, the next day in class, he forgot everything. It felt like his brain was slow. He looked around and he saw his friends learning fast. They finished homework quickly. They got good marks on tests. But Sam, he failed again and again. Many times he wanted to stop. He wanted to close his books and say, "I can't do it." But inside him, there was a small voice, a very small voice. It whispered, "Don't give up, Sam. Try again." That voice kept him going. School was not the only place where Sam felt weak. He also struggled in sports. During games, he was always the last one chosen for a team. Other kids ran faster. Other kids jumped higher. Sam was slow, and sometimes he fell. When he fell, everyone laughed. "Sam is clumsy," they shouted. Sam's face turned red, but he stood up. Even when people laughed, he stood up again. You see, Sam's life was not easy. He felt different. He felt left behind. And maybe you have felt the same. Maybe in school, or at work, or even at home, you felt like you were not enough. Maybe people told you you can't do it. Or maybe you told yourself, "I will fail again." This was exactly how Sam felt every day. One day, after another bad test result, Sam sat alone in the classroom. Everyone else went home. The teacher looked at him with pity and said, "Sam, maybe you should not try so hard. Some things are not for everyone." Sam nodded, but inside he felt pain. His own teacher did not believe in him. He walked home slowly, thinking about giving up. But that night, something changed. When Sam lay in bed, he thought about his life. He remembered every laugh, every failure, every fall. He felt sad, but he also felt something stronger. He thought, "If I stop now, I will always be the boy who gave up. But if I keep trying, maybe, just maybe, one day I will be better." This thought gave him hope, a very small hope, but enough to start again. From that day, Sam made a promise to himself. He said, "No matter how many times I fail, I will not stop. No matter how many people laugh, I will not quit. I will keep going. It was not easy. The next day, he still made mistakes. The next week, he still failed a test. But he remembered his promise. He held on to it. Sam was not the strongest. He was not the smartest. He was not the fastest. But he had one secret. He never gave up. And this secret, this promise to himself, was the beginning of a story that would change his life. Part 2. The First Failure. Sam loved football. When he watched other kids play, his eyes shined. He loved the sound of the ball. He loved to cheer when someone scored a goal. He dreamed that one day he would play on the school team. He imagined himself running, kicking, and scoring. In his mind, he was a champion. But reality was different. Sam was not fast. He was not strong. He had never played football seriously before. Still, his heart said, "Try, Sam, just try." One day, the school announced football team tryouts. All the boys were excited. They wore their sports shoes and practiced together. Sam wanted to join too. At first, he was shy. He thought, what if I fail? What if they laugh at me again? But then he remembered his promise to himself, never give up. So he walked to the field, nervous but brave. The coach blew the whistle. "Run!" he shouted. The boys ran fast across the field. Sam started running too. At first, his legs felt heavy. Other kids passed him quickly. He was the last one. His heart beat fast, and his face turned red. Then came the ball. Another boy kicked it toward Sam. It was Sam's chance. He tried to stop the ball, but he tripped and fell. Everyone laughed. "Sam can't even stand!" someone shouted. Sam's cheeks burned. He stood up, brushed the dirt from his hands, and kept going. The game continued. Sam tried again. He ran toward the ball, but another boy pushed past him easily. Sam fell again. This time, the coach shook his head. "Sam, maybe this is not for you," the coach said. Those words cut deep. Maybe this is not for you. Sam wanted to cry. He wanted to leave the field and never come back. He felt small, weak, and embarrassed. He looked at the other boys, strong, fast, and confident. He thought, I don't belong here. The voice in his head said, "Quit now, Sam. Just quit." But then another voice whispered. It was quiet, but strong. It said, "Stand up, try again, don't give up." Sam listened. He stayed on the field, even though he was slow, even though people laughed, even though the coach doubted him. He stayed. When the practice ended, the coach called out names for the team. Sam's name was not on the list. He was not chosen. He failed. Walking home, Sam felt heavy. His dream was broken. He thought about the coach's words again. Maybe this is not for you. Tears filled his eyes, but then he remembered his promise to himself. No matter how many times I fail, I will not stop. That night, Sam looked in the mirror. He whispered to himself, "Today I failed, but tomorrow I will try again." He knew it would be hard. He knew people would laugh. But deep in his heart, he also knew something important. Failure is not the end. Failure is only the beginning, if you don't give up. And that was the first big failure in Sam's journey. A failure that almost broke him, but also a failure that made him stronger. Part 3. Small Steps. After the tryouts, Sam was not chosen. He failed. He felt sad, embarrassed, and weak. But he did not give up. He remembered his promise to himself. No matter how many times I fail, I will not stop. So the very next morning, Sam woke up early. The sun was still low in the sky. The streets were quiet. Most kids were still sleeping, but Sam tied his old shoes and went outside. He started to run. At first, his legs felt heavy. His chest hurt. He could only run a short distance before he stopped, breathing hard. But he told himself, "It's okay. Tomorrow I will try again." And the next day he ran again. Still slow, still tired, but little by little he went farther. Each day, one more step. Each day, one more try. After running, Sam practiced kicking a ball. He didn't have a good football, just an old, worn-out one. But he didn't care. He kicked it against a wall again and again. Sometimes the ball went too high. Sometimes it bounced the wrong way. Sometimes he missed it completely. But he kept going. Kick, miss, kick, miss, kick, hit. Again and again. Day after day. People in his neighborhood saw him. Some laughed. "Why are you trying so hard?" they asked. "You're not good at football." Sam only smiled. He didn't explain. He didn't stop. He just kept practicing. His legs grew stronger. His feet learned control. Slowly, he could kick straighter. Slowly, he could run longer. It was not fast progress. It was not easy progress. But it was real progress. At school, he still wasn't the best, but some kids started to notice. "Sam, you look faster," one friend said. "Sam, your kick is better," another friend added. Sam smiled. The hard work was showing. But most importantly, he noticed the change himself. He felt stronger. He felt more confident. He felt proud of the small steps he was taking. Still, the journey was not smooth. Some days he was too tired. Some days he wanted to stay in bed. Some days the ball bounced the wrong way and he grew frustrated. But every time he felt like stopping, he remembered the coach's words, "Maybe this is not for you." Those words hurt, but they also gave him fire. He thought, "I will show them. I will prove them wrong." So he kept running. He kept kicking. He kept practicing. Weeks turned into months. The small steps added up, and something amazing happened. Sam, the slow boy, was now faster. Sam, the clumsy boy, could now control the ball. Sam, the boy who failed, was slowly becoming a player. It was not magic. It was not luck. It was the power of small steps. Every morning, every kick, every run, they all built him into someone stronger. Sam realized something important. You don't need to be the best right away. You don't need to succeed in one big jump. You just need to take small steps. One today, one tomorrow, one the next day. Small steps can change everything. And for Sam, those small steps were the beginning of a big dream. Part 4. People start to notice. For many weeks, Sam trained alone. He ran in the mornings. He kicked the ball against the wall. He practiced when nobody was watching. At first, no one cared. Some even laughed. But Sam didn't stop. Slowly, something began to change. His legs grew stronger. His breathing was easier. His kicks were straighter. The ball now went where he wanted. He felt different inside, stronger, lighter, and more confident. One day at school, Sam was running in the playground. A classmate looked at him and said, "Hey, Sam, you're faster than before." Sam smiled. It was only a small comment, but it felt big to him. Someone noticed his hard work. Another time, during a casual game with friends, Sam kicked the ball straight into the goal. Everyone stopped for a moment. "Wow, good shot," a boy shouted. Sam felt proud, but he stayed humble. He knew this was only the result of his daily practice. Day by day, more people began to see the change. The same kids who once laughed at him were now surprised. They whispered, "Sam is different. Sam is improving." At first, they thought it was luck, but when Sam repeated the same good moves again and again, they knew it wasn't luck. It was skill. It was effort. It was practice. Even the coach began to notice. One afternoon, the coach saw Sam practicing alone after school. He walked over and said, "Sam, you were working hard. I can see the improvement." Those words made Sam's heart jump. It was the same coach who once told him, "Maybe this is not for you." And now the coach was saying, "I see improvement." That night, Sam couldn't stop smiling. Not because he was the best, not because he had won, but because all his small steps were finally visible. People were beginning to see what he already knew. Hard work changes everything. But here's the most important part. Even when people noticed him, Sam didn't stop. He didn't say, "Okay, now I'm good enough." No, he kept training. He kept running. He kept pushing himself every single day. You see, many people stop when they hear praise. They slow down when others say, "Good job." But Sam didn't want to slow down. He wanted to keep growing. He wanted to keep proving that with effort, anything is possible. His story teaches us something powerful. At first, nobody will believe in you. Nobody will see your effort. People may even laugh. But if you keep going, one day they will notice. One day they will respect you. One day they will say, "Wow, you have changed." And when that day comes, you will feel proud. Not because of their words, but because you know the truth. You didn't change overnight. You didn't change by luck. You changed because you worked hard, step by step. Sam's life was still not easy. He was still not the best. But now people looked at him differently. They saw his effort. They saw his growth. And most importantly, Sam saw himself differently too. For the first time, he believed, "I can really do this. I can really become better." And that belief, that confidence, became his new strength. Because once people start to notice, and once you start to notice your own progress, the journey becomes unstoppable. Part 5. The Big Day. 1 year had passed. Every morning Sam trained. Every day he ran. Every day he kicked the ball. He failed many times, but he always stood up again. Step by step, he grew stronger. Slowly, he became a real player. Then came the big day. The school football team had an important match. The playground was full. Students were shouting, cheering, waiting for the game to start. The players wore their jerseys proudly. And this time, Sam's name was on the team list. When Sam saw his name, his heart jumped. It was his dream, but it was also scary. He thought, "What if I fail? What if I fall again? What if everyone laughs?" His hands were shaking, his legs felt weak. But then he remembered all the mornings he ran alone. He remembered all the times he kicked the ball against the wall. He remembered the promise he made to himself: never give up. The whistle blew. The match began. The other team was strong. They passed the ball quickly. They scored the first goal. The crowd cheered loudly for them. Sam stood on the side, waiting for his turn. He watched the game closely. His heart wanted to run into the field. Finally, the coach called his name. "Sam, it's your turn. Go play." Sam ran onto the field. The noise was loud. His stomach felt tight. He was nervous, but he told himself, "This is my chance." At first, things were hard. The ball came to him, and he almost lost it. A player from the other team pushed him. He fell to the ground. The old memory of failure came back. The laughter, the pain, the shame. But this time, Sam didn't stay down. He stood up quickly. He said to himself, "Not today. I will not give up today." Minutes passed. The game was close. The score was 1-1. The crowd was shouting louder and louder. Everyone was waiting for the last moment. Then, in the final minute, something happened. One of Sam's teammates passed the ball to him. The ball rolled toward his feet. This was the moment. Sam looked at the goal. He remembered all his practice, all the kicks against the wall, all the mornings of running, all the times people laughed, all the times he wanted to quit. He took a deep breath. He kicked the ball with all his strength. The ball flew through the air. Time felt slow. Everyone watched. And then, goal! The ball landed in the net. Sam had scored. His team was winning. The crowd exploded with cheers. "Sam! Sam! Sam!" they shouted. His teammates ran to him, hugged him, and lifted him up. Sam couldn't believe it. The boy who once failed, who once fell, who once was laughed at, now he was the hero of the game. In that moment, Sam realized something powerful. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was his hard work. It was his small steps. It was his promise to never give up. That goal was more than just a goal. It was proof. Proof that failure is not the end. Proof that effort changes everything. Proof that anyone, yes, even you, can rise if you don't quit. Part 6. The Lesson. The game was over. Sam's team had won. The crowd cheered loudly. "Sam! Sam! Sam!" they shouted. The same people who once laughed at him were now clapping for him. The same classmates who once said, "You can't do it," were now saying, "You are amazing." Sam stood on the field, breathing hard. His face was red, but his heart was full of joy. He looked around at the crowd. He saw smiles, claps, and cheers. But inside, he thought of something different. He thought, this is not about the goal. This is about never giving up. You see, 1 year ago, Sam was a boy who failed. He was the last one in running. He was the boy who always fell. He was the boy who heard, "Maybe this is not for you." But today, he was different. Not because he was the strongest, not because he was the fastest, but because he kept trying. Sam learned something powerful that day. He learned that success is not magic. Success is not luck. Success is the result of trying again and again, even when it hurts. When everyone went home, Sam walked slowly, smiling to himself. He remembered the mornings when no one believed in him. He remembered the lonely runs on the empty streets. He remembered kicking the old ball against the wall until his feet hurt. He remembered the pain, the laughter, the failures. And now he remembered the goal. He whispered to himself, "This happened because I never gave up." And that, my friend, is the lesson. In life, you will fail. Yes, you will fall. Yes, people will laugh. Yes, people will doubt you. even your teachers, even your friends, maybe even your family. They may say, "This is not for you." But here's the truth. Nobody can decide that for you. Only you can decide. If you stop, then it is the end. But if you stand up and try again, the story is not over. Sam's story is not just about football. It is about life. Maybe you are not trying to play football. Maybe you are trying to study English. Maybe you are trying to get a better job. Maybe you are trying to change your life. And maybe, right now, it feels hard. Maybe you feel slow. Maybe you feel like you are failing. But remember Sam. Remember his promise. Remember his small steps. And remember his big day. Your big day will come too, if you don't stop. If you don't give up. If you keep going step by step. The world will laugh at you at first. Then the world will notice you. And one day, the world will clap for you. So the next time you feel weak, think of Sam. The next time you want to quit, remember his story. Say to yourself, "I will not give up." Say to yourself, "One day, my hard work will change my life." Because it will. It truly will. Sam believed it, and now it is your turn.